A heavy user can build up a tolerance to most drugs and alcohol. Eventually, their body gets used to taking a substance, and a lot more of it is required to get the same effect that a small dose once had. When someone has built up a tolerance to drugs or alcohol, it is easy for them to believe that they are in control of their substance use. But tolerance is actually a warning sign that a person is becoming drug or alcohol dependent. Psychological dependence comes first. This is when someone can't help wanting a substance. It increasingly becomes the focus of their lives, overshadowing their family, friends, job, health, and safety. Physical dependence occurs further down the road. It is even more serious because the person's body becomes addicted to the substance. At this point, a person has no choice in using the drug. If they don't get their daily fix, they will go through traumatic withdrawal symptoms. Any substance can cause a psychological dependence, while physical dependence is more likely to occur with certain types of drugs, such as cocaine, heroin, prescription pain relievers, and alcohol. People who have developed a dependency are often in complete denial. They can't see what is obvious to the people around them. If anyone, a friend, family member, co-worker, anyone expresses concern over your drug or alcohol use, listen to them. It's all too easy to cross the line from substance use to dependency and not even know it.
You do what you want to do on it.
When it comes to substance abuse, prevention is the best medicine. You have to monitor your behavior and honestly ask yourself the question, could I become a substance abuser? Unfortunately, the answer for all of us is yes. Anyone can become a substance abuser at any age. Substance abuse can sneak up on you, so you need to keep away from dangerous behaviors. Never use illegal drugs. Only take prescription medicines that have been prescribed by a reputable doctor. Follow the directions for all of the medications that you use. If you drink, do it in moderation. Be aware of binge drinking. Some people go all year long without a drink just to get smashed on New Year's Eve. It's also important to remember that addiction to drugs and alcohol is a disease, and like many illnesses, a person's heredity can play a part. If there is a history of substance abuse in your family, you must be especially careful. There are no known cures for drug addiction and alcoholism. With effort and help from others, a person can stop their harmful behaviors, but they never truly recover from their addiction. A sip of beer or a hit off a joint is all it can take to send someone back to a vicious cycle of self-destruction. Keeping substance abuse out of the workplace should be a top priority for all companies. Even occasional drug users and moderate drinkers can be dangerous if they show up for work under the influence. Your company's drug and alcohol policy will help to keep you and your coworkers safe by providing simple guidelines for all employees to follow. Workers are expected to be completely drug-free and sober when they report for work, and must remain that way throughout their shift. They should also adhere to the company's drug and alcohol policy when they're representing the company at social gatherings, attending company-sponsored recreational events, or are on call or awaiting assignment. In addition to listing behaviors to avoid, your company's drug and alcohol policy will outline the steps that you should take if you are having a substance abuse problem. It will also contain information on what you should do if you suspect that a coworker may be under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Remember, keeping quiet about substance abuse in the workplace is dangerous. Unless an abuser is reported, they'll never receive the help that they need and will continue to be a threat to the health and safety of everyone at your facility. When substance abuse is brought to management's attention, the company will investigate the situation. Workers who are suspected of being under the influence will immediately be removed from any tasks that could endanger themselves or others. They will then be interviewed by someone who is trained to recognize and deal with substance abuse problems. When confronted, some substance abusers immediately ask for help. But if a suspected abuser denies that they are under the influence, a reasonable suspicion drug or alcohol test can be given. A company can also perform periodic drug and alcohol tests to uncover substance abuse problems that might otherwise go unnoticed. Government regulations require random substance abuse tests for truck drivers, pilots, and other transportation industry employees who have safety-sensitive jobs. Failing a substance abuse test will not necessarily result in disciplinary action. However, the employee will be required to enter a drug or alcohol rehabilitation program. When an employee has a substance abuse problem, the situation will typically be handled like any other serious illness. A leave of absence can often be arranged, or in some cases, the employee can be assigned alternate work while they are rehabilitating. Your company's objective is to keep everyone safe by ridding your facility of substance abuse, not people. In most cases, only those who refuse treatment or have caused a serious accident will face suspension or termination. Some companies have employee assistance programs, EAPs, that offer resources to help workers combat substance abuse problems. You can also help a coworker overcome substance abuse by being understanding and encouraging their rehabilitation efforts. People who are trying to recover from drug or alcohol abuse need as much support as they can get, from family, friends, and coworkers. It is also crucial for them to seek help from people who have been down the road of addiction themselves and found another path to follow. That's why groups like Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous are so important.
Hi, my name's Tom. I'm an alcoholic and an addict. Hi, everyone.
Your company needs you to help combat substance abuse. It's a workplace hazard that you can't afford to overlook. Let's review. Never underestimate the danger of drugs and alcohol. Know your company's drug and alcohol policy and follow it. Learn to recognize the signs of substance abuse. Inform your supervisor immediately if you suspect a coworker is under the influence. If you drink, do so in moderation and don't drive. Use proper respiratory protection when working with inhalants. Never use illegal drugs. Follow the directions for all of the medications that you take. And support people who are trying to recover from substance abuse problems. By doing your part to ensure that you and your coworkers are drug-free and sober, you can help to create a safer and more productive workplace for everyone.